Hey everyone, this is Manny with Nikolai Design. We're transforming the world one room at a time. Anyways, today we're finally gonna do my bedroom reveal. This room has been done for about a year and a half already, and for whatever reason I just didn't feel like recording it and putting the video together. And in that time, I lost a lot of my footage, and yes, I am obviously upset about it, but it doesn't matter because I have enough to show you guys more or less what we did. And so basically this room used to be like a little apartment or studio. Like the floors were really run down. It had like a little kitchenette, which I didn't need because there's a kitchen right next to the room. So basically we just started out with removing the kitchenette, removing the popcorn ceiling from the entire space. So we did the bathrooms, we did the little kitchenette area, which is now like a little office, and then we did the actual bedroom. Alright guys, so this is going to be my new room. There's going to be a lot of products going on with this. First of all, I got to get rid of these nasty old ceilings. That fan is going to be replaced. We're going to be putting in 2 different windows and getting rid of that door. Got to obviously fresh coat of paint because I don't like the color. We're going to also be changing the flooring. The tile is worn out over there. And then this little area here, it's gonna be probably like an area for me to work, like a desk or something. I haven't figured it out exactly how I'm gonna do because I need the storage. Because all the closet space I will have are these built-ins. It was like, what exact direction am I going with for this bedroom? So Paris is literally my favorite city in the world, and I think one of the reasons why it is because there's so much history. The architecture is so rich, there's so much detail everywhere you go, and I love that. And I had also just recently, before starting my room, visited RH, and that's before they kind of shifted into like a little bit more modern of a style that they have now. And they had so many statues everywhere, and just like these really ornate like chandeliers and all of that, very much like reminiscent of Paris. And I was like, yep, this is what I'm doing for the bedroom, just with a slightly modern twist. I actually took the popcorn ceiling off myself, but we hired someone out to finish and float the ceilings because that's a pretty difficult job and it's very tedious. And I've done the walls before, but I've never done a ceiling, and walls are not easy to float, so ceiling is like 10 times as difficult. First, I was like considering paint colors, and I really wanted to go for a beige because a year and a half ago is when or maybe like 2 years ago is when beiges really started coming back, where we started moving away from the grays. If you weren't aware, grays are out for the most part. It's already been done for so long, like people are shifting, everything's shifting back towards like more like whites and creams and browns and all that. But basically I bought like this cream color, and I absolutely just could not stand how yellow it felt. Alright guys, so we're in the room, it's been painted, but it's just like, I don't really like the color. It's too like yellow. I don't know, it clashes too much with this. I really don't like it at all. So I went to Home Depot and I bought something a little bit more beige because I really don't like, I don't know if it's that it's too yellow. I think that's what's really bothering me, or if it also has kind of like a pink tinge depending on the lighting. The camera doesn't pick it up, but I really don't like it. So I'm gonna spend another night painting this room slightly darker color. So the first one, the one that's on the wall right now, is called Vanilla Frost. I even tried painting the trim up here to see if it would make a difference because I just can't stand how it looks with the white, but I really like it's just not helping. So that one's Vanilla Frost. If you guys like it, it's not for me. I got one called Cascade Beige, which is just slightly darker, more taupey, and hopefully this one will have me feeling a little bit better about it. Let's see. And I was gifted this really beautiful and large mirror, which I'm gonna end up using actually right on that wall, but I'm thinking of creating like a gallery wall, which is initially what I wanted to do. I didn't expect this mirror to be so big, but I kind of like how big and bulky it is. Like if I come up to it, it's right by my neck, which is amazing. And so I'm like kind of like setting up some frames that I have down here just to see more or less how I would arrange this wall now that I have a much larger piece, because I had other frames that were bigger but because this one's so big, it doesn't make sense, or it's not gonna look right to put a few big ones instead. But I'm trying to just like arrange them differently to see what works best. But I think it's just gonna make sense for me to wait till all the furniture's in here and then all the pieces are in, just to see exactly how it's gonna look. I think because the creams were like such a new concept to me, that I was like, I cannot stand this color. So I went back and I tried to maybe do like a little bit taupier of a color, and that one ended up being a little bit more pink. And I also didn't like it, so I was like, I'm not gonna keep spending money on paint, and I'm just gonna mix everything that I have at home. And I ended up getting a very faint gray that I've been extremely happy with. Alright guys, so this is what we currently look like. Floor looks like shit. It's like almost white like this, but it's I don't know how to describe it. I honestly, I was like so happy with how it came out. And the next part was the flooring. The flooring was from Floor & Decor. Hey guys, so we're at the flooring store today, and let me put my mask on, there's people coming. And I'm stuck between two floor choices, between this option right here and this one. And I'm leaning towards this one because the furniture I'm gonna put on the room, I'm possibly gonna keep the color it is, which is like a walnut cherry. And this is just a little bit more yellow tone than this one is. And I think for the room that's gonna work better. So I'll give that. So you have this one. You see how it's not as orange as it looks in that video. And then you have this one. I don't know, I think they both look really nice. The camera picks them up just a little bit differently than I can notice in person at least, which is interesting. I think that one might be the one I go with, but I also really like the tone of this one. So basically when you lay out the floor, you want to separate them by color and grain. And as you go installing them, just make sure alternating going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or however many shades you have. That way your floor is even and it's not like darker on one side and lighter on the other, because the boxes are going to vary. If you guys are interested, it's called Mountain Rigid Core from Floor & Decor. Luxury vinyl plank, or like vinyl planks, are pretty DIY friendly. If you guys are considering it for one of your spaces, I would definitely consider doing it yourself. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube on how to do it. The tools that you need are worth investing in, and they're not too expensive. I've had it for a year and a half now. It's really held up well. It's just like, I love the color. It's not too light, it's not too dark. It's like a good like medium tone. And it really works with all the furniture in there. Alright guys, so it's 8 p.m. on a Sunday night, and we just finished installing all the floors, doing all the baseboards, caulking everything, and now I'm gonna start putting up the curtain rod. Don't mind the unfinished or like unpainted wall because it's gonna be covered by the headboard. So I'm not concerned about that, and I'm not gonna waste paint on it or time. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be working on right now. We're gonna put up the curtain rod. I'm gonna put the curtains up just so I can get a better idea of how everything's gonna look. Gonna bring in some of the furniture. So then the next part of this, or like the biggest part, was locating the furniture. And luckily, thanks to Facebook Marketplace, I found a mid-century modern like bedroom set with like the glass on top. You know how like before they used to put glass to like protect the furniture. So it was pretty much in like immaculate condition. And it was $150 for literally the nightstands and the dresser. So 2 nightstands and the dresser. It's literally solid wood. It's so beautiful. Like, I was so happy with that purchase. When I picked it up, the lady had told me that her grandmother had passed away and they were getting rid of the furniture, and I was like, I mean, she took care of it. That's all I care about. But yeah, so then I was stuck between like painting it black, kind of to modernize it, or keeping it that wood tone. And I'm so happy that I didn't paint it, because it's just such, oh, the pieces are, it's just so nice, and it works so well with my decor and just everything. I'm like, I really appreciate like wood grain. I really appreciate wood grain, so I'm so glad that I didn't ruin it by painting it. I know some people like painted wood. Just like, I feel like we're heading away from that, and I'm glad that we are, because like wood grain is such a beautiful, just so beautiful. Alright guys, so these handles on the cabinet are like a brass. But as you can see, they're old and they have like, I guess from just use, right? So I saw on YouTube that if you boil them in vinegar, it kind of brings them back to life and you can clean them up. So I'm gonna go ahead and try that and see what happens. It's literally floating in the water. How disgusting. These are all the oils, people's fingers, everything. I considered changing it at one point, but I felt like it was gonna modernize the furniture too much, and I wanted it to be authentic to like the manufacturer and to the time period. And so I just kept it that way. The only thing that I did was boil it to remove all the oils and like grease from that it had accumulated over the years. And guys, when I tell you, like, disgusting the amount of gunk that was coming off, but they came out shiny and like pretty much almost new looking. So I was really happy with that. So I like scoured the internet for, I wanted a bust and I wanted a torso. So I found them and they weren't in white, which I would have wanted in white. I literally searched everywhere. They were the only ones that were like reasonably priced, meaning like under $150. I might have paid a little bit more than that, but they weren't like $800 or $1,000. They were within my budget, we could say. So yeah, so those pieces came in. I painted them myself to kind of give them that creamy white kind of plaster look to them. And I'm a big fan of tall headboards. I've always thought that they really make a statement. I've always loved like when you walk into a hotel room and it's just like here, like I'm here, right? I had one that I had made that was almost to the ceiling for like 10 years and I knew that I wasn't going to use that anymore, but I wanted to kind of evolve that and kind of modernize like all the busts that I was including, all the statues that I was including, and like my mid-century furniture. So I had a material that I had purchased for a client for another project and we ended up using a different material, but it was perfect because I loved it. It was like this like velvet, like really rich like dark gray velvet. I believe it cost me like $30 because it was on clearance, so it was literally like so affordable to build this. I think I spent like $100 to build my headboard, and so I did it myself. I lost all the footage and I wish I could show you guys, but here's a little bit of me doing it myself. I wanted it to have the lamps incorporated, and I'm pretty sure I bought these at Overstock. If I find them, I will have them linked down below. But what I wanted with the lights over my bed was I wanted to be able to have two that like pointed straight down to where I could read, but then I also wanted the other two to like point at the statues, and so this lamp was perfect for that. And then the next, like, I guess like key factor, I wanted to do a gallery wall. I've always really liked gallery walls and I wanted really ornate frames and like art in my bedroom. A family friend gifted me a huge gold ornate mirror, and when it arrived, it was like so much bigger than I expected it to be, in like the best way possible, because it completely steered the direction of where I was planning on going with this gallery wall. When I saw that mirror, I was like, I have a few mirrors that are really ornate. What if I did like a mirror wall? So instead of doing just like a gallery wall, like with art, it would be like a gallery wall but with mirrors. And guys, when I tell you I'm like obsessed with this wall, like I love it. Like I literally love how much bigger it makes the room feel. Like I love how ornate the frames are. I love how it just all comes together so well. And I knew the last part of this room was going to be the TV, and I have never had a TV in my room that I actually used. But now that I'm older and like spending more time with myself, I was like, I'm gonna get a nice TV. And I've always liked my TVs to be framed. In my older room, it was also framed, except it was smaller, so it was easier to frame that TV. So this was a 55-inch OLED TV, and I didn't go for like a Samsung frame TV because yeah, it's easier to frame those, but they're not as high quality, and they are just as expensive as an OLED, which is literally the highest quality TV you can buy, but it's not anywhere near as good in like resolution and just like the colors and the sharpness of it. So I was kind of like driving around the neighborhood one day, you know, and in my neighborhood, like every first Monday of the month, they have like a big garbage comes around, so you basically take out like any big pieces and people can take it, or like the city ends up taking it if no one picks it up. So I came across this beautiful ornate frame, and I couldn't even fit it in the car, but we were maybe like 3 blocks from my house, and I was like, I am taking this home. So I literally just put the window down and like had it, I was like holding it. like literally like this, and it's like banging against the car. And I was like, just please don't scratch the car, please don't scratch the car. And I think I lost that footage too. But basically, I like cut it down to size, like glued it together, screwed it, and it just fits so beautifully around my TV. And I get complimented all the time on it, but I love it. The rug just arrived, so let's see what it looks like. Alright, so since the rug is so big, I'm gonna end up rolling it behind the nightstands a little bit, and once you put the bed there with the bed frame, you won't be able to notice it. But that way it won't intrude into the room so much. Alright, I don't know how to feel about the rug. I'm just gonna let it sit so it can kind of flatten out a bit. And once everything settles a bit, then I'll decide if we're keeping it or not. Hey guys, before we get to the review, I saw this product on Amazon. It's really cute. It makes a really cute gift. It's on sale right now for less than 20 bucks. It's limited time. So it says, but too much good whiskey is barely enough. And then you have two really beautiful glasses with like a bullet encrusted in it. All right, now let's get on with the review. Thank you guys. But yeah guys, I really love how this room turned out. I hope that you guys really enjoy it too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you liked this video. Please like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.